Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.
MSD Productions.
7 Mile Radio.
Hey everybody, thank you for joining Tapped In Podcast this evening. I'm Tanisha, your host, and Osa is on vacation this week. We wish her well. We hope that she is enjoying herself, and yeah, a little birthday retreat, and we can't wait to get a report back. I am here with Champ today.
What's up? What's up? What's
Hey
up?
Champ,
What's
I'm
up,
so glad to
nation?
see you.
Good to see you too.
So, so a couple things this week, and we're going to get into the topic. A couple things this week. It was a full moon. It is a full moon right now. Typically, it was between Tuesday and Wednesday, but the moon will still be full tonight. And something that I wanted to be sure to propose and put out there is the bathing, the moon baths, right? Is to the importance of bathing during the full moon. I mean, it's a good time to cleanse your aura, cleanse past things, introduce new things. So it is important, male and female,
What's your
to
definition
ground
of bathing?
yourself.
Like the technical bathing, or there's another?
No, I mean, I don't want to call it a spiritual bath because it might not be that for everybody. Just a reset bath. Take the time out, dark, light some candles in the bathroom, run you a bath, soak in that bath as long as your spirit leads you to. Allow those thoughts to come, allow those thoughts to go. Clear your mind, meditate, say some affirmations, set your intentions for moving forward. You know, I like to do it on the full moon because I won't forget. It doesn't have to be on the full moon. Whatever you decide, whenever you decide, is important to have those ritualistic and not ritual in terms of consistently dated or consistent ritualistic baths in which you take the time out to relieve your body. You give your body that comfort, and you just surrender to your body.
Well, I'm a man, so I take showers.
I know, but y'all got to get into it. Y'all got to get into it.
I got a follow up to it. So my shower head has chakra stones in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, that would be my version of a bath, that I would sit underneath the shower for long periods of times with my water, filtering through the chakra stones, that it actually bathes me in your version to cleanse me. You know what I'm saying? And ideally, my concept is just to wash away all those bad vibes that been clinging on to me from being around this person, that person, or just even walking around people, period.
Picking up that energy.
Yeah, because I mean, some people might be skeptical of it. It's like I actually feel it. Like I actually can walk in the room and feel the tension of bad vibes, and people be thinking I'll be crazy. Like, nah. And then I will sit there and talk to you, and then break it all the way down what you be on. This, you know what I'm saying? It's like what you on this next. So it takes a few sentences that you're saying. It's like you're not being yourself. You're not bringing out no good vibes. What, you know what I'm saying? And finally,
It's a recharge, and I know that. We could talk about something. Honestly speaking, we could talk about something on this show, and then next thing I know, I'm gonna hear it in church as a negative, right? Like so and so, they talking about this, they talking about that. That's this, that's wrong, And it is what it is. But nevertheless, even the people of God that go forth, the prophets, the preachers, the people that's laying hands on, they need to cleanse themselves on a regular basis. They picking up energy out here. They picking up all kind of energy, laying hands on, praying on people. All this, you picking up energy,
it's a lot
and
of
you need to
times.
consciously get in that bath and wash that off your body. Wash that energy off your body.
It's a lot of times I seen it in church. It's like, at the end of church, you greet or speak to the pastor. He's not consistent with his greetings. He's not consistent with his goodbyes.
Oh, that part. He might hug somebody and tap somebody. I already know.
That, and it just, you not vibing today, pastor. Like, you got on that podium, you talked it, right? You know what I'm saying? But I sense it like, no, because before, you know what I'm saying, if it's a firmer grip or if it was, you know what I'm saying, there's something that shifted amongst you. But,
And
you know,
your
I
energy.
just registered, he's a man just like me. So
Right.
there's no shade or nothing like that. But to identify that he's a man just like I'm a man, because I will come into church not on the same tip like I do every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Not to say I go to church now, but when I went to church, you know what I'm saying? I'm real picky about going to church. You know what I'm saying? Because I have to walk in there, I have to sit there and feel the vibes. I have, you know, congregation, the pastor, everyone that's involved has to have
That uplift, that spirit.
right. It
The
ain't gotta
spirit
be
got to be
perfect.
present.
Yeah,
The
it ain't
spirit,
gotta be
they said,
perfect. Right, the spirit has to be
the
present.
spirit got to be there.
It doesn't have to be perfect, but when you got some ill people, and then you go to church one Sunday, another Sunday, go in the middle of the week, this and that, and you feeling some type of ill, it's like you the cancer of this church. You know, and
This
the
is
thing
not our
is, the
topic.
church is the,
But this
the,
is
the
a good
past-
topic.
The pastor is supposed to be able to identify that. Just like we identify amongst each other and talks about each other, like the pastor, you can get on that podium and talk about us generally. Like, no, you need to start pointing them people out, because this is your church.
Well, you know, they used to do that in church, and it's
Yeah.
2023. You can't do that no more.
Yeah.
You cannot hope. You know, humiliation
Can't
and
hold people accountable.
Yeah, here it comes.
now
Humiliation.
Wait, humiliation used to be considered
So you
a
see where I was
constructive
going, right?
tool, right?
Yeah.
Like we gonna publicly humiliate you, therefore you will make changes.
Yep.
You can't do that to people no more. They gonna run out. They don't have. They don't. That ego too big when they come.
Well,
They gonna run out the church, go to somebody else's church.
That's
So
fine.
now they just lay off. They don't do
That's
that
fine.
anymore.
That's fine. That's fine.
So you can't even
It's
tell
a-
people
it's-
don't
it's-
chew gum in the sanctuary without them saying being mad, and I ain't coming back to this church. Put your phone away. Oh, I ain't coming back to this church. So but nevertheless, the bathing is important for everybody. It's a baptism, but it's many baptisms. You got to continue to cleanse yourself. And so our topic tonight actually is we're gonna talk about humility, humbleness, and humility. And I came up this idea came to me because I had a really bad argument, and I was going off, y'all.
No, not Tanisha.
I was going off.
Cussing, raise your voice.
I don't know. I wasn't cussing because I just get upset and then I get to lecturing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a lecturer. I would be like ranting. It's not a rant. It's gonna be a lecture because I'm gonna be cussing and fussing. I'm gonna be talking some real stuff. And so it came to me, the whole big fish in a little pond concept. And I couldn't think of the second part, but I know the second part is a little fish in a big lake. So you can be a big fish in a little pond or a little fish in a big lake, and it is your choice of life and what you do. But I was ranting and lecturing regarding someone who wasn't being humble because they were a big fish in a little pond, and they had considered, they were being arrogant, unreasonable, because that was their mindset, that I'm this and I'm that, so they weren't able to see another point of view. So yeah, what you think, Champ? Give me some information.
When it comes down to humble, right, and I relate it a lot to sports, right. So I'll start all the way from the beginning. Like, it's always that GOAT talk, right? That GOAT talk didn't even come from sports. It came from hip hop. It didn't come from no other aspect of our society but hip hop. Because the first person to sit there and say GOAT was LL, and got it tatted, right? And it was because he was the first person to use it publicly, right?
In a rap.
And he didn't take nobody taking shots at him, no disagreements about it, this and that. He was the GOAT, right? And even to this day, no one's going to dispute that he's the GOAT. You might have your own GOAT, but there's not going to be no arguments about him being the GOAT, right? But that was a cockiness, that was arrogance, right? So if you go back to his history, he pretty much put Def Jam, the whole hip hop. He's been influential more than anybody else just because he started when he was 17 and he changed the game, right? And he's been the most arrogant, cockiness hip hop artist that we done ever had. His name alone, Ladies Love Cool J. That's an arrogant name, right? But no one told him to humble himself publicly. No one ever told LL to humble himself, right? Because he showed results, album after album, career-wise, goals-wise, this and that, right? So who are the people that we tell to be humble? right? Because we'll tell them to be humble, because if they don't be humble, we're going to humiliate them. You know what I'm saying? As they're doing LeBron James. They're doing their best to humiliate him because he called himself the GOAT. What is wrong with calling yourself the GOAT? Because anything that I do, I want to feel like I'm the best at what I'm doing. Regardless of your opinion, I'm going to be the best who I am. And if I call myself the best, your mind manifests itself. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to speak into existence. If I want to be the best, I have to say I'm the best and follow it with actions. You know what I'm saying? Whereas now you have these other players that was looked past because they was humble. Charles Barkley was humble. You know what I'm saying? But back then they used to call him the greatest player in the NBA over Michael Jordan. Chuck Daly of the Dream Team said, you are the best player on the team. But all these years he's been humble, never spoke on it. So no one has the discussion, was Charles Barkley better than Michael Jordan, right? So then we talk about on our level, amongst friends, right? Soon as you sit there and speak on any of your accomplishments, someone will tell you, be humble. What? So anytime you speak on your strengths, your abilities, be humble. So I'm not supposed to speak on it. How you going to know? So you're going to sit there and say by actions, but half y'all not even paying attention to my actions. Right? So if I speak on it, I have to promote myself. Because when I promote myself, I open doors. I create opportunities for myself, because otherwise you wouldn't even see it. How many of y'all that worked in your jobs, worked so hard, was real diligent about your job, had integrity about your job, and kept on looked over. But here goes this brown-nosing motherfucker over here that keep on like, I'm better than him, this and that. And they wait to watch your very little flaw to capitalize it on it, to showcase themselves. You know what I'm saying? Versus if you was consistent, just bringing attention, like, I did this, this and that, they're going to look at this consistency.
Yeah.
Where the brown noser don't have consistency, because he only will be able to present himself upon your flaws. You know what I'm saying? So ideally, every time I'm in supervisor management positions, I look for the consistent people, not the people that showcase this highlight here, this highlight there, because how'd you get there? This person is being consistent.
Yes.
You know, so then that brown noser, I got to humiliate him.
But you know, when you talk about the brown noser, it kind of comes into the excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry, you all. When you talk about the brown noser, it kind of comes into the idea of the squeaky wheel gets the oil, right? Yeah. And absolutely. So when you humble, you're not a squeaky wheel. You're not complaining. You're not griping. You there. You showing up. Whatever needs to be done, you doing it. And with no idea, no expectation of recognition, you passed over. You consider. I don't even know what you consider. And this topic is important to me because I've heard so much about humility. You know, I've been taught so much about be humble, be humble, be humble.
Be humble with a question mark.
It definitely is a question mark.
But I was taught humility is a lesson. It teaches you lessons.
It teaches you lessons. And so, I mean, just life itself had me humble in my circumstances, right? Like, even though I might be here, I know where I come from. It keeps me humble. I used to, when I worked in corporate, one of my, when I go in the hood, Friday nights, go back to my, go to party with my people and everything. It's like,
back to your culture.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, I maintained my ghetto pass, and I was proud of that. Yeah. I was proud I maintained my ghetto pass.
I'm still proud of it
in all aspects. Like, oh, I can go uptown, downtown. What we doing? Right. And so, but never, because I was humble enough to do so. I didn't look down on those people because, oh, I did this and I come out of that. I went back and I'm like, oh, I'm still one of y'all. And I know that I can't say it holds a lot of people back. Right. I'm going to say that. It's a lot of people that won't progress and won't allow themselves to progress because of the people around them. They don't want to lose their ghetto pass. So I'm just going to stay here in the ghetto.
That's what I did personally. I removed the word ghetto and replaced it with culture. You know what I'm saying? Because that ghetto brings a negative attention to whatever you're sitting there saying behind it. Because I like to cook on a barrel grill, and y'all want to give that the term that's a ghetto grill. You know what I'm saying? No, that's our culture grill. You know what I'm saying? So if I go out to the suburbs and I move out to the suburb and I put this barrel grill in my front yard, this is my culture.
It ain't even got no propane in it.
You know what I'm saying? Right, because you go to Home Depot. Home Depot sells 3 charcoal grills versus 7 different other
Propane.
gas grills
You gotta
that's
get that.
catered to the culture that they're advertising to. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? Whereas why does Home Depot sell barrel grills that's in our culture?
Charcoal barrel, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when we remove the word ghetto, because ghetto is not even our phrase, it shouldn't even be attached to us because
But
ghetto
I don't know
was
where
used.
that phrase comes
I'm about to
It was
tell you.
okay.
Ghetto was referred to the impoverished areas of the Jews.
Absolutely, that was the ghetto and the
That was
Jewish.
ghettos. They was what they called the
The
original
Nazis
ghettos.
went to the Jew
where
to
it
the
originated.
ghetto
The Nazis went to the ghettos.
to gather the Jewish.
You know, So now you look at, we call ourselves ghetto, and the Jews capitalize on us calling ourselves ghetto. You know what I'm saying? All their marketing, all their sales, majority of is based on the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? If we go back to when we sitting there talking about LL, a lot of people don't know is when Run DMC was promoting Adidas, right? It wasn't until Larry Cohen became the president of Def Jam that got them their endorsement deal, and it was $130 million. Granted, you would think
And
that
I
was
used
a lot
to be
in
a
the 80s.
Lear Cohen fan. Like I read his books. I used to be a
No,
fan.
I'm a fan of. I'm taking
I'm
that
still
from
a fan of
because
his mindset, but I'm not a fan of the way he exploits our culture
I wouldn't even sit there and say
and promotes the exploitation
Yeah.
of our culture.
true that, but
The drugs,
what I gave
violence.
him, I gave him a lot of respect because even though the Beastie Boys was Jewish, he still wasn't biased to give them a better
He was fair.
contract
He's fair.
than Run DMC and LL. He allowed still LL and Run DMC be the face of Def Jam. You know what I'm saying? Where Russell Simmons and Beastie Boys had fell out because they couldn't reconstruct their deal. And you see, what was it? Mike D that overdosed over drugs. So you know they was all on drugs and everything versus Run DMC and LL and all the other black artists were clean, sober. You know,
That's
for
the
the most part,
humility.
yeah. Versus what the level that they was on. So then you look at all the '80s was all conscious and party, enjoying good music, hip hop, right? So when you had artists like MC Hammer come in, and we humiliated him. It wasn't even the whites. We humiliated him. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't humble. He was very arrogant and cocky, as he should be. You know what I'm saying? But once he got into the pop music, and the whites started listening to the music, it was us that humiliated him. You know what I'm saying? That brought him down from grace. But ideally, this man had a 30 men and women entourage employing 30 people on
Pay
stage.
checks.
You know what I'm saying? That is the example what we should have stayed on after that. Like every artist should have a staff of this many people because not only I'm making all this money, I'm employing them
feeding.
and I'm empowering my people. You know what I'm saying? So when he comes down, and it's like, damn, why we humiliate him? You know what I'm saying? We was rocking BKs. Then he started promoting BKs.
And
Now we can't even rock BKs
that's
no
my
more.
point about when
Yeah.
you come across as arrogant, you lose the support of the people.
But see, when we arrogant, we got to be around the people of our same level, and it's not arrogance no more.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm in this tax bracket, whatever I achieve, whatever I do, no one's looking at it as arrogance because we're all doing it together. You know what I'm saying? There's only people that's under you, and it's only arrogance when you make them feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, do I got to dumb myself down to talk to you? You know what I'm saying? Because as soon as I use a word that you're not familiar with, who does he think he is? He just
Yeah.
said a word with 3 syllables and 4 vowels. Who do you think he
yeah.
is?
And like I said, I have been a part of that idea. When you, I wouldn't say when you. I come from a holiness church, and a lot of we taught fire and brimstone, and so when you hear different principles, pride come before fall. That get in your spirit. You know what I'm saying? And it getting your spirit to a level of unbalance where it's like, okay, I ain't gonna be prideful. I'm not gonna be prideful. I'm be humble to the point of a servitude. I'm not gonna boast about my accomplishments. I'm gonna tell you, I know this, I know that, because I don't want to seem prideful. I don't want to seem arrogant. Because I don't want to lose everything, because God is going to see me as pride. Pride comes before a fall.
God
Or
takes from
people.
you. God takes from you and open up new doors. And you know what I'm saying, my own belief, we all God bodies, so we can take stuff out of our lives to open up new doors. We don't necessarily need God to do it. We can do it ourselves. So, God created us in our image, so he gave us God-like power. So the same thing that you ask for God, you can do for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And prayer doesn't work without work.
Prayer, faith without
God.
work is dead.
Exactly.
And that's the scripture.
So when they sit there and speak about pride in the Bible, what I struggle with, because there's a such thing as healthy pride and unhealthy pride. And that should have been spoke on instead of just generalizing pride that, this pride is bad, it's bad, it's bad. No, you need to explain there's healthy pride and there's unhealthy pride.
Because you need to have pride in yourself.
You have to.
It's because if you, and not because of what you have or what you did, you need to have a basic pride in yourself that, hey, I'm living every day and I have the potential that's been given to me.
You know where your pride come from? Your morals, your standards, your values, and your ethics.
What you standing on?
That's where your pride comes from.
And then when people call someone prideful, right, it's always a bad thing. Because I'm full of pride.
I'm proud.
I'm prideful.
Right.
Like, that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and then,
we live in a day and age
like
now where what's bad is good and what's good is bad.
Right.
Everything is flipped on its head.
Right.
Right. And there's people with logical eyes, logical minds that think and see things like we do that are stuck trying to sort through the bullshit and wonder is this how things supposed to be, or is this how it is? But we know we feel it in our nature. We see, you know what I'm saying, as far as what's right and what's wrong. But we battling against the world.
Yeah. And we shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Create your own world. You know what I'm saying? So that, going back to what you said, you start removing things to allow what you want in your world. It's so many times where we have friends around us that block other friends from other potential friends that coming around us. You know what I'm saying? So when people be like, man, chat be going hard and all that, this and that, because y'all know I speak generally. So if it applies, you know what time I'm on. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to be around me on this tip, or don't be around me at all, because if you be around me, I'm going to make you feel uncomfortable. I'm going to talk my shit, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to allow you to talk your shit to me, you feel me? Because what you on, like, you allowed to talk your shit to me, what you on, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to disagree, and I'm like, cool, you on that shit, that's you. You know what I'm saying?
I respect that. Look, I respect that.
I respect it, you know what I'm talking about? So as long as we can coexist in the same area, you doing you, and I'm doing me, just don't step your boundary, because I'm not going to step my boundary. I'm not going to come over here and preach to you like, you should be doing this now. Oh, you doing that? You over there? Okay, stay over there and keep on doing that, right? But when I'm over here rocking and doing this, nah, stay over there, cuz. Stay over there, cuz. Because what we on over here, you not on that. You know what I'm saying? And did that make you feel uncomfortable? Did that make you feel some type of way? Here, do you feel humiliated?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why do you feel humiliated if you proud of what you own?
If you proud of what you doing,
and I spoke on it,
why you humiliated?
And I speak on it, and you feel humiliated. Ain't nothing that you can sit there that I say I am that you gonna speak on. I feel humiliated around anybody.
Nothing.
So now
tell
what
the
are
word
those
about me?
So now what in that same lane now, right? When you speak it on yourself, what do you call those people who always have to one up you? If we're not, since we're in the lane of prideful, right?
Those people,
what is that?
Those people that one up you.
What are those people? I don't even understand.
Anytime you have something good to say, right? And it's like a condescending way. They have to, say, "Oh, well, I did this,
that."
Or I got a bigger or better something than you. Right.
Oh, man, I'm in this IROC Camaro. Oh, man, I had the 86 IROC Camaro with the mags on there, with the two-porter engine. Okay, man, I just had the V6, bro.
And I'm happy about that.
I'm happy, like, this is what I'm proud of. But why did you know what I'm saying? But granted, you wanted to put yourself on the stage, and I'm going to let you, oh, yeah, you did have that. Man, you ever take it to the track? So I'm going to help them one up me. Yeah, I'm going to help them one up me. Now you feel good about yourself? Because the only reason why you said that is to feel good about yourself. Because when I sit there and said something that made me feel good about myself, made you feel uncomfortable. So you had to come back to sit there and say something to make you feel comfortable in sort of a way.
And I think that's where that's where it get flipped around, right? It's because, okay, this person might come to you all boastful and prideful. Oh, I got this and I got that. But you already had that. You already done that. And you don't acknowledge it. So they go on thinking they one up, they already over you because you didn't acknowledge the fact.
Yeah.
I already been there, done that. It's nice for you. You
Well,
know,
that's the
I'm not gonna
difference
tell you all the
between a
problems
person-
it's
that's
gonna
the
you
difference
gonna have.
That's the difference between somebody like you and how you wired versus those people, right? Because a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, we can confirm that a lot of times when these people trying to one-up you, they ain't even really got or about
They
the
ain't
shit that they
one-upping
talking
nothing.
about, right?
At all.
They just out of their mouth trying to say some shit to make
Trigger.
it seem like, you know, they bigger than what you talking about.
I mean, it's just like, especially in the black culture, we're in so much competition with each other. You know
That
what I'm saying?
competition.
And it's pretty much just how, you know what I'm saying, the white people oppressed us, had us go against each other. You know what I'm saying?
Crabs in a barrel.
Yeah, so, you know, that's why I don't attack my black folks like that, because it's really ain't even all your fault. You know what I'm saying? Even if you know right from wrong, you're already trained in this. It's just like, you know, you talk to a racist person. They know right from wrong, but they trained to be a racist, and 9 times out of 10, they going to die as a racist. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you might do a good deed over here, but your brain
But
is
they indoctrinated.
Because
They are indoctrinated.
Because you're not ever in your life going to pick your white brother over a black brother.
Because I cannot understand how, like, you have good life experience, education, you know, all of those things, and you could meet a person that don't have none of that, and opposed to trying to learn from you, trying to, you know, they looking for your flaws. They busy concentrated on your flaws.
And I show them my flaws.
You know what I mean?
And I show them my flaws.
And I'm like that too. It's like
I show 'em my
like you
flaws.
I'm transparent when it comes to stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like, I ain't perfect. I do that. I got this. Like, but I'm not perfect. You don't have to be perfect.
It's just the product of where I come from is different from the product. Well, I come from the same as everybody else. I'm just a different product.
You
know what I'm
have the
saying?
benefit of being national, right? You're
Right.
multinational.
Like my father from a third world country, my mama from Southwest Philly, right? From nothing. You know what I'm saying? From, you know, Southwest Philly, poverty. You know what I'm saying? Freetown, Sierra Leone, poverty. But I got 2 definitions of poverty. You know what I'm saying? Poverty over here with plenty of opportunities around here, but the white man limits it, right? So the poverty over here in Freetown is just the economic structure that the white man colonized that city, that state, that country. You know what I'm saying? Whereas here, I can use education. I can't necessarily use hard work, or the level of hard work. And the level of hard work over here in the United States is not going to give me the same results. So I have to use education to get me up out of here. Versus over here, we have all that, but we're so much chasing the white standard.
The white
You know what I'm
standard.
saying? And to be accepted by the whites, fuck being accepted by them. We grow our own. You know, when they be like, oh, the grass is green on the other side, and pretty much most black folks think the grass is greener is being in the white community or the white culture, right? No, you make your own grass greener. You know what I'm saying? You plant your own seeds. You know what I'm saying? That's what we ain't doing. We ain't planting our own seeds.
It's about motive, right?
And then when them black folks go over there to the white culture, the first thing they want to do is humiliate your ass.
Oh, I left the city initially, and my rationale was, you know, I had kids and sons. My oldest were sons, and I was trying to get them away from trouble, street life, all that kind of stuff. We moved to the suburbs. It wasn't no different.
It was no
And
different.
you best believe I lived in 3 suburban towns. I went from Clinton Township to Sterling Heights to Shelby Township. And you best believe probably about a week after I moved in, I had a police visit.
Yep.
They wanted to know who
Yep.
who I was, all the kids. They want to know who was in that house, who had moved into that community. I mean it. About a week within us moving in, we had a police visit for some reason. The neighbor called the police because we left the trash can out too late, kind of stuff.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like the trash, and the police knocking on my door by the trash can. It's like, what?
And that's
who
not
is
even
the
their
kids?
jurisdiction.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to tell you. So I know, and they think you moved here because you want to assimilate with them. You have your own reasons for entering in which that culture, but they
I'm not even
assumption
associating
is
with y'all.
automatically
Yeah.
that you want to be one of them. And I'm proud of my blackness. Y'all need some culture.
Like, look, my arrogance is sit there. I'll tell them I'm better than you. I'll tell them I'm better than you. What do you mean that
they
you're
can
better
really
than me? What? Man, one
You know
thing.
what? You know
This how you hit home on the white folks. Soon as you speak about history, when you speak about their history that they don't know,
Caveman.
now it's a whole different respect they gonna give you. Not even so much science, math, and all that. You hit them with that history, it's a whole level of respect. Oh, he knows something. Because y'all know something. Y'all know y'all history is not accurate, but y'all know y'all can use that history for privileges and perks.
If we not aware.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm aware of how you get your privileges and
And
perks.
that's where that pride
And you
comes
know
in.
that. Right.
That's
And that's
that black pride.
Yeah, so-
it's got to be some, and that's your that allows you to be humble because I'm standing on something that's so much.
But I'm
that's
not
so
humble.
firm.
But I don't
that
be
I
humble.
can be
I
humble.
struggle with that.
You struggle with humility?
No, I
struggle with arrogance. I need to be more arrogant.
Right.
I need to be. I
Yeah.
ain't never gonna be a bitch or a bad bitch, but
yeah.
I need to be more diva.
I struggle humble. Don't tell me to be humble.
You need
Be
to
humble
more-
about what?
You need to be more confident.
Yeah. I need to project
Well, you need
more
to project it.
confidence.
Yeah, you
I
wanna
need to
say you wanna
project
project it.
more
Yeah.
confidence.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because when you sit there and project that confidence, right, it gives you that good feeling. It gives you that motivation. It gives you that determination. Because even though I said I have to back it up with action, you know what I'm saying? So that's where your pride come in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's when your self-worth come in at. It's like I even talk it and I act it also, right? And
I talk
act
it and I walk
and
it.
then I come back and I talk it. Now, bring me some more. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because when you bring me some more, you know what? I'm going to go right back to the lab. I'm going to do my reading.
And up the game.
I'm going to do my
I'm gonna
research.
I'm gonna make myself more valuable.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even to come back on you. I'm going to go over here, right? Where no one knows me because now I'm reloaded.
Transform.
So now I can go over here now. You know what I'm saying? I didn't talk to you, coming back to you. I'm not going to go nowhere because you already been sitting there trying to push me down. I'm going to go over here where I learned from you. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to be elevated. Because
And
I
I'm
now
gonna apply
bring
it.
something
I'm
to
gonna
the
apply
table
it somewhere
with somebody that's higher than you. It's like,
where it's
you know,
valuable.
I'm over here, you know, we're in the 50,000 salary bracket, right? We over here, we going back and forth. In the 50,000 salary bracket, you know, you got hard workers, you got some people with college degrees, but those people with those solid college degrees is really not putting their college degree at work. So they right there at their 50,000 mark, right? So now, yeah, I'm sitting over here talking
Like I
to you, brain
was.
that, this and that, right? So now, I go back to the lab, I do more research, I do more learning. Now, I'm going over here with the 100,000 bracket, right? But now they going to accept me because I got the knowledge. I ain't got the bread yet, but I got the knowledge. So, you know what I'm saying? Now we can hold a conversation, right? But then when I come with the 100,000, now they coming with their information. Now they want to teach me now because I got the 100,000 on the table, right? So, boom, boom, here's the 100,000. Once you pass the 100,000 mark, right, now you can live humbly,
You're right.
decrease your lifestyle, to build up more collateral. Now I could talk to the 200,000. I could talk to the 1% of the country,
Right.
Because they was here once upon a time. You
And
know what I'm saying?
I would say that going back to something that was part of the conversation before, that's why it's so important to be aware of the company you keep. You know, some people don't want to lose people. They want to hang up. They got everybody in their life they've been knowing for all their life.
You know why? It's because we are created as social beings, and we all want to feel accepted. You know, me personally, I want to feel accepted. There's nothing
But you
wrong
have
with
to
that.
stretch yourself to uncomfortable situations where you
being
might
a-
face some rejection.
Yeah.
You might not be
That's
accepted.
build character.
You might not, but you gotta make the effort.
Yeah.
You know, and so sometimes you can get so you get and you see a lot of these young basketball players and young rappers when they first get come into some money or come into some popularity and fame. They don't want to leave the people that they come up with. They don't want to leave them behind whatsoever, and they just drag them right back down.
But you can't get mad at their intent, right? Mm-hmm. You know, I'm glad you sit there and said that, right? Y'all know who what's his name? Jaylen Brown from the Celtics. Jaylen Brown, right?
Okay, that's not y'all. The one who won't stop toting the guns, right?
No, that's John Morant. But keep that in mind, right? I'm glad you said that because I was
Get a
going to bring his
license.
name up. It's a lot more to it, but
Like-
keep that in mind, right? Because Jaylen Brown, right? He just got the largest contract in NBA history, $308 million, right? You know what he was doing when they was signing his contract? He was teaching an engineering robotic class.
Oh, awesome.
So let me tell you his credentials, right? Been a 4-point student all his life. He's the youngest man that ever lectured at Harvard, right? So in the press conference, they asked him, what are you going to do with all your money, right? Now, what's crazy, right? I paused it right there. It was just like, damn, when Yoke and all them, Lewinsky and all them got their big contract, y'all didn't ask them what they was going to do with their money. But every time a brother get their check, what you going to do with their money? Because of the stereotype.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They want to hear a
They think
Deion
it's an
Sanders
off-guard
story.
question.
This
It's an
and that,
off-guard
right?
question, like, oh, we about to get him.
Right.
That's a
You know what I'm
got him
saying?
question.
Right. We gonna humiliate him with his answer, right? He killed the game. Mark, when I say he killed the game, Tanisha, when I say he killed the game, he said I'm about to create Black Wall Street in Boston. Shut him down. Reporters ain't had shit else to
They
say,
ain't want to
man.
hear no more. They ain't want to hear no more after
That
that.
shit didn't hit no headlines. That shit wasn't on social media. That shit, but you seen Ja Morant shit. As soon as he pull out that pistol everywhere, right? But y'all not going crazy when this man said, I'm about to build Black Wall Street in Boston. Now, they ain't feared. Now you humiliated them white folks. You thought you was gonna humiliate me, but I humiliate y'all. Now y'all don't even got a follow-up question.
No.
That man said I'm about to build Wall Street because what kind of, from the white reporters and even some of the black reporters, what question could you actually have after that? What you gonna ask him? How he gonna do it?
Where you
LeBron
gonna-
already sit there and showed you how we gonna do it when he built the school. And not only did I build the school, I built assistants for their parents because that's how it's gonna back these kids to be great. I got to start with the parents also. So now when you sit there and tell, when Dog was sitting over here like I'm about to build Black Wall Street, now he's a threat. We're not conditioning these athletes to do that, right?
And I think that is a good word to use, threats.
Yeah.
You know, and how we dumb ourselves down or play ourselves down because we don't want to be perceived as a threat. We don't want to
You want to
initiate
be
any
humble
competition.
because
Like,
we got that Willie Lynch syndrome that we got to come humble to the white man and this and that. Man, and anybody that knows me, anybody sitting there watching any job they ever had, they know I walk in as a threat. I make them white boys feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the field I am. I train most of y'all. Now y'all sit there and see me out in the field. So now it's like, yeah, y'all so used to working around the other brothers that, you know, talk slang, all that, this and that. So when I get to talking technical terms
Right.
out of the same book that I taught y'all and signed y'all certificates, now, Dez is a threat, right? So I know all this is coming. The brown nosing motherfuckers going to the office and want to talk and tell all my flaws and all that, this and that.
and that's
We all
fear.
come
And, you know, that
from,
come with
right?
fear. And you can't. You have to be fearless at some point.
Yeah,
like,
I am
I'm gonna
fearless.
do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed
you know what
to do.
fearless
And you
means?
can tell who you want to tell.
Right. You know what fearless means? Not being scared to fail. That's being fearless.
Oh, nice.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
that's nice.
When you fail, it's lessons and it builds
Yes.
character. Like I fail, so when I'm working with other people, I can identify with you because I'm not ashamed about my failure. I can actually talk to you about my failures. Like, yeah, but you know what I learned out this failure and why I'm in the position that I am and why I walk around here cocky and arrogant. You know
because
what
of
I'm
my
saying?
failures,
And I
not
was-
because of my successes.
I don't even have a problem telling a person, yeah, I'm gonna talk cocky and arrogant to you. You know what I'm saying? Does it make you feel uncomfortable? Well, you should humble yourself. Why? Because it make you feel uncomfortable. And why does it make you feel uncomfortable? Because your lack of esteem and your insecurities. Because if you was confident, my cockiness or arrogance is not going to threaten you. You know what I'm saying? We can actually live in all this cockiness together because we are proud of our achievements and we can sit there and shout and celebrate it. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you go to graduation, right? Ain't no one telling you put your hands down, don't throw that hat up, be humble.
Right.
When we graduate from high school, we throwing them hats up because we're all
Accomplished.
collectively the same, right? But them same people in high school that you threw hats up, right? 4 or 5 years later, the ones that threw hats up at college, you can't even hold a conversation because when them people graduate from college, you tell them they should be humble. You ain't supposed to celebrate graduating from college because I didn't graduate from college.
And that part, like you don't talk about your degree because
Right.
I don't have one.
Right now, they born, right?
You know.
Now they bored. They don't want to sit there and hear about that, right? Or you get a job, you're making $20 an hour, where that person is making 17. As soon as you missing 20, they don't even want to talk about work no more. How you make 20? What you do? Oh, you're special. No, I ain't special. You know what I'm saying? It's like my dad taught me. He was like, there's no such thing as luck.
No, it's not.
It's when preparation meets opportunity.
Absolutely. So be prepared.
You know what I'm saying? If this is what you really want and you think about it, you can think it in existence. You can speak it in existence. You can manifest it. So when that opportunity, I already been thinking about it. I already been preparing myself, right? But I'm not preparing myself that it's going to be a perfect path. I prepare myself that I'm entitled to this, and I'm taking on all the trials and tribulations, all the rings of fires that I got to jump through, all the ropes I got to climb to get there. Because that's mine.
Right.
I already told myself that. You know what I'm saying? But people, you talk about, it's like when you're young, like, I'm going to be an NBA player. Man, this old arrogant, cocky motherfucker, you ain't going to be no NBA
Like, you ain't
player.
that good.
You ain't that good. Yeah, right.
It's the whole world, the whole country.
But half of the players in the NBA make it to the NBA not even on talent, on hard work. On hard work and work practice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like work ethics. Like I hooped against Shane Battier in high school, right? And you know what I'm saying? He was no premier player, but he played 14 years in the league. But I seen in high school his work ethic, like he was a dog at Country Day. No cap. I mean, dog was like 6'9", I believe. And I had to check him. It was like, I ain't gonna stop him, but I'm gonna slow him down. He still got 15 in the game. You feel me? But at the same time, I used to watch him. I used to pay attention to him. It's just like, it's his work ethic.
It's the ethic.
He's not coming
And
over
that's
across
what people
over this
don't
shit.
understand when it's like, they expect you to be so humble. No, I work too hard.
I work too hard
I
for
work
this.
too hard for this.
So it's
Like,
like,
I'm not just coming to you saying I'm not. No, I can tell you about them all nice study crashes
Think about
and going. I can tell you about my about the journey.
Yeah.
I'm telling you about the outcome, but don't misconstrue that the journey was easy. It was hard. So you should have some pride, and I think that we talk about a lot of esoteric things, and when you have that issue, when you can't distinguish your arrogance and pride and humbleness, that's a chakra system issue, right? You got a problem with your heart chakra, you got a problem with your root chakra, you might have a problem with your third eye chakra because you're not seeing, you don't have much clarity to evaluate where you are in a situation. So when it comes to stuff like that, people have to do the shadow work at the same time to make sure they are coming from a good place. To make sure this arrogance is not a defense mechanism. I'm not just putting on to try to cover up. I'm not doing the red herring where I want you to look over here because I don't want you to look over here. Right. And a lot of people do that.
Yep.
And and when you see a lot of people do that, you don't want to be one of those.
Yeah.
So you just don't engage.
But that's
you don't
unhealthy
do
pride.
it at all.
Yeah. It's like if I'm sitting there.
My mic ain't even on. False pride.
False pride.
Yeah. It's like when if I'm sitting over here talking arrogance or cocky, this and that, right? I'm gonna allow you to sit there and see my flaws. You know what I'm saying? So you can relate, because I want you to be cocky and arrogant too. I want you to talk that same shit I'm talking, right? It's like if we hooping and we playing football, right? Okay, you missed 2 passes, this and that. I don't want you to sit there and be humble. You know what I'm saying? We still won the game, and it was collective effort. Talk that shit just like I'm talking. We not about to hold you to 2 passes, because shit, I missed 2 tackles over here, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but collectively, we won, right? So even when
So
I'm around my
relishing that.
brothers, it's like, even though, you know what I'm saying, you're not on my level or this and that, but you're still existing right here. You're still striving. Talk
Celebrate.
that shit.
You know what? And in that moment, right, I'm thinking of this. That people tell people to be humble, right? And in that moment, what you're trying to do is to get me to acknowledge or remember your flaws.
Yeah.
Basically, what they tell you.
Where you came from.
Don't forget where you came
in the moment
from.
where you way up here, right, and you are admiring yourself, right, and God forbid you speaking on, you know, your compliments. You know what I'm saying? When someone says be humble, they saying remember your flaws. You have flaws. Like, why would you bring me down? Like, that's what it is. Like, why would you want to pull me down in that moment? Mentally, right? When I'm up here.
Yeah.
And that's what, do y'all agree? That's
And
what it's doing?
Champ had two statuses about this, and I was like, "Oh, go ahead, Champ." Was like dancing off beat,
as if you're not flawed.
Oh, I didn't even know you was going there. It was like
if I'm dancing off beat and I'm having a good time,
why do you have to?
Why do you have to come tell me I'm off beat? Or if I'm singing a song and I don't know all the words, but I'm feeling that song and I'm singing it,
Right.
why you gotta tell me I don't know all the words?
Why can't my moment? I'm not messing with you. Why can't I enjoy my moment? You
like,
over there holding the wall up.
Wait. You just said it, though.
Yeah.
You said, I ain't messing with you, but you are, though.
Yeah.
You are, though. That's what it is. You are messing with them, man.
Yeah.
Because you got to be careful how happy you are around sad people.
What you said, but I'm not. What you said is, be careful how happy you are around people, but I'm not gonna be.
No, that's
I'm
it.
That's what they want you to be.
That's
the
consequence, right?
Yeah.
You're dealing with that. Now, if you're the person that is emotionally shifted, right, by what people say and what people think, then then you got to be cautious on how happy you are around sad people, especially if they are close proximity enough to like affect you in some type of way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Type of shit. That's the only time you got to be careful about that because you can suffer some kind of consequence.
And that requires your own shadow work because I dealt with a lot of shame, which kept me humble almost. It's like, oh, I'm doing this, but I'm never gonna forget that I was a teenage parent. You know what I'm saying? It's like always that
But you switch it around.
But I had to work. I had to work through that.
I am the teenage. I am the teenage parent, and I'm proud of it because look at my results.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's where
look at my results.
Yeah, I'm this year's old, and I'm just kind of getting to that place.
You can't attack me with the stereotypical teenage parent because look at my results versus what you're trying to attack as a teenage parent. You know what
I told my mom not too long ago? I said, stop.
Your mom's a teenage parent?
No, yeah, my mother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I told my mother, stop apologizing for what you couldn't do for me, what you feel like you couldn't do for me, and you had me when you were 17 years old.
Look at the product, though. Look at the product.
You were set like, look, you know what I'm saying?
And a lot of people go through that.
Be proud of the product.
A lot of people go through that.
Why are you apologizing to me about what you couldn't do or what you couldn't provide? Like you had me when you were 17 years old. Don't apologize for because I did. Like, look at me.
Yes, you have to move forward from. And I was talking to somebody. This is like maybe 2 years ago, maybe 1 year ago, and I'm like, oh yeah, I feel this way. I had kids so young, and they was like, your kid's grown. What the fuck is you talking about?
Like, why are you
your kids survived.
Why are you holding this cloud over your own head?
Over my own head because of that. Society influence. It never left my mind. Now.
Society influence when the product is right here in your face every day, 24 hours. But you more worried about what society, people who ain't like, who is society, right? People who don't even know you.
It's just the whole, and that's why you have to do the shadow work.
It ain't even people. Like, what the fuck? It's just the standards that's been embedded into your head.
You know how you look at
like
society?
You gotta abide by.
You know how you look at society? With imagination. Society is imagination. It's not real.
It's not real.
It's not real.
It's everything.
So when you know that
it's the conditioning, it's the conditioning
society
that you have in your
and everybody
head.
around you is not real. It's imagination. The only thing is real is the world that you create around you. You know what I'm saying? You create your own reality. You create your own reality with the choices and the decisions that you make, and it dictates your future, right?
And that's why we have a lot of people I feel like a lot of the mental illness out here is induced, right? Because people, right?
Yes.
It's the people are trying to live up to the terms and conditions and the standards that society has placed on people, right?
Yeah.
And these are so everything is so unrealistic, right? When the world is constantly changing, the terms and conditions of the world is constantly changing, but we got people mentally that are stuck to these rules and regulations, and
They small
and
pine.
it's driving them
Stuck
fucking,
in a small pine.
and it's driving them fucking crazy.
You know what driving them crazy? Is they using somebody else's ruler and not their own.
And not their
how
own.
to measure success.
You know why? You know why? Because this book told them to lead not to their own understanding.
Man, what?
Right? And they're conditioned, and that conditioning, right?
Right.
Is the reason why the results that they have in their life. No, that's me.
Yeah, so I just implore anybody and everybody to, in terms of, me and Champ sitting as opposites right now, right? Like, he knows what it is to be prideful and arrogant and to stand on because of a strong foundation of what he's accomplished. And for me, it's like, no matter what I accomplished, it wasn't good enough it wasn't good enough for me to overcome the shame in which I felt from my childhood, that by my trauma. Let's call it trauma. Right. And then even
trauma of having kids at a young age was trauma to you.
It was it would be traumatizing to anybody. Like, yeah.
No, I'm saying at that time, is it still traumatizing to you now?
It's not traumatizing to me now because all my children are successful. They're doing well. Right. I know that I done a good job as a parent. I can stand on that, and I can feel good about that,
man.
You know,
a lot of parents be reluctant to say that. A lot of parents be reluctant to say that.
I can
if their kids are not doctors and lawyers, this and that. You was happy that, hey, I didn't provided them with life skills and they're actually living life.
Oh, but I got another challenge. That something else is gonna challenge me to my core, because I have a son that's went to prison for 15 years. Mm-hmm. That's been in prison for 15 years and will come home in October. Right. Like October, after 15 years a sentence. Mm-hmm. He got tattoos all on his face.
How old would he be?
He's 33.
Right.
He got tattoos all over his face. He got all I gotta bring him up, and so that's gonna. I'm already like.
But hold on.
I'm gonna deal with this.
You don't have to bring him up. He has to bring up himself, and you gonna assist him.
I'm gonna assist.
Up. So don't put the burden on you that you have to bring him up, because in essence is that he done put himself in. I'll just keep this shit 100. Like it's 4 of us. 3 of us went to prison, right? So it's 4 boys.
And we're gonna talk about we're gonna have a conversation about that.
Me and all my brothers are all established and self-sufficient and independent. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how many years, whatever, the oldest one did more than the younger ones, right? So no matter what, when we came home hitting that ground strong.
Yes.
Because we used everything that was instilled in us with the support of what was instilled with us, because they never sit there and let us. They're not supporting, you know what I'm saying, our negative. They're going to support everything positive. If you bring that negative, we're not supporting that. You know what I'm saying? So then it has to trigger in their mind, like, really, you know, you know what I'm saying, it has to be in their mind that they want some change, right? Mm-hmm. So granted, you know, they're in a negative environment, so you put the tattoos on and all that, this and that, right? But that really doesn't stop them, because he can still create his own. If he starts a business, you know what I'm saying? More companies accepting, you know what I'm saying, that culture now, this and that, because we're more diverse, this and that. So don't allow that to even be an excuse. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Or if you come back,
or be shamed for me, right? Because I didn't do it. Like, so I didn't do anything. And I'm just being real tonight. Y'all know I'm working on that more and more.
For him to adjust. I'm speaking from experience. You're going to have that time to adjust. Then you're going to have that time where you motivated and determine what you want, and they have to have that support system. But one thing to sit there and tell them is just like, your support is not always going to come from family. It's going to come from strangers, right? But strangers help people that helping themselves. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So don't ever, you know, I tell folks, don't ever get down on yourself, because you'll be surprised. It's the whole world watching. Mm-hmm. And all it takes is that one person out of millions of people that watch you each and every day that's going to lend out some assistance. It's not going to be no handout.
Yes.
Don't think it's gonna be an alley-oop. Hey man, this 10,000, man. Do
Right.
your thing.
Set
because
yourself
you gonna
up.
fuck up that 10,000 anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because I gave you just 10,000 and you don't even got no financial intelligence. You know what I'm saying?
Straight out of prison, living,
Right, you know
living
what
on
I'm saying?
$25 a week.
Right. That first, it's 10,000. That first 9,000, you gonna pay all. You gonna buy all your wants and desires.
And
'Cause
trick.
I've been waiting for this all my life. I want this. I want that. This and that. Really think that's gonna
Gonna
make
be
it
tricking
right.
like a mug.
Man, what? You know, I have a whole nother story on that, but that ain't for the mama to hear. But if you got some partners around you, they gonna come take care of that for you. Hey, look, man, look, I got this set up. This because when I came home, like, look, my homeboy, I'll show you a picture. My homeboy came through. Hey,
We got
get that out
some.
the way. We gonna
Yeah.
get that out the way. Then, you know what I'm saying, that was my coming home party. And the next day, it's like, nigga was talking business. And then it was my homeboy Quan.
Time to
He was
get to
like,
work.
Man, dog, you ain't even changed.
Yes.
I was like, I have changed, but I changed for the better. But you gonna see it in the future. You ain't gonna see it right now. You know what I'm saying? Cause like, what was our last show about? It was about
We was drunk.
our last show.
What was it about? We was talking good.
Yeah, but
talking
it,
about?
What you asked me?
our
What
last
was
show,
our
our
last
last
show
show
about?
about.
It's a shame, y'all.
Man, I got now. You asking me?
Oh,
I done had
God.
10 shows since
Yeah.
last time. y'all been like,
We struggled with the topic for a minute.
But whatever this last show was about, right? I wanted to bring in.
It was about Osa's birthday.
Yeah, it's my birthday. But I wanted to bring in my 24-page.
You had wrote a
plan.
little dissertation.
On how I was going to sit there and change, right?
Better be a better person.
23 of those pages was how I was going to be a better person. And it was only 2 pages was my goals. Because I wasn't going to be able to achieve those goals without being a better person.
Without doing those
Being
things.
over there changing it. And I had to change my belief system. You know what I'm saying? I had to change my environment. I had to change the people that I was going to be around. When I sit there and say change the people we're around, that does not being around them. It's how I'm going to
How
be
you
around
engage.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
and
How I'm
then
gonna
how
get-
often,
How
yeah.
you gonna engage.
Huh?
And then how often as well.
them. Right. How often. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not going to be on the porch. You know, we drinking 40, we drinking, you know, we popping bottles talking about if we won the lottery, but ain't none of us played the lottery. You feel me?
If I
So
win,
what the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Like pointless conversations, man.
Pointless
It's like
conversations.
or just
Yeah.
being in pointless places.
Exactly.
Unproductive
The
places. You gotta
pointlessness
put
of it all.
yourself,
Right.
you know. Yeah.
But
in the
and
path,
it's not that
in
I
the
don't
path
enjoy
of
being
success.
over there. But when I have free time, I'm going to be over there.
Yes.
When I have time that I want to sit there and take a break from over here, hey, yo, I'm gonna be over here. Yo, we gonna talk about pointless ass shit,
That's why I
crack
put the
jokes,
emphasis
tell
on
stories,
how
the whole nine.
how much time? That's why I put the emphasis on how much time you spend
Right.
with those things. You know what I mean? It
Right.
ain't that I'm disassociated with you where I don't
Right.
know you no more. I don't care.
Right.
But I can't do the same thing that I
Right.
used to do
I gotta
all
grow.
day, every
It's
day.
a
Yeah.
matter of growth, and
Yeah.
and for me, I believe, and I've spoken about a lot of my own experiences, so I'm gonna speak about others. I find that others they so prideful essentially on nothing, on their imagination.
False pride.
But they
so
have
much pride.
that false pride that they won't even look into what do I need to do better. It's always something, or it's always something to do better. It's always a way you can be better. It's always something you can
what,
improve.
You know what our
And they think
downfall
they
is?
all arrived. I'm here, and this is where I'm at. I made it, and I'm straight. No, because if you're not moving forward, you are moving backwards.
Exactly.
Yeah, because time moving
If
forward.
you ain't
Because
part of the
time don't
solution, you're part of
stop.
the problem.
Your time don't stop.
Right.
So even if you have made an accomplishment, if relish in that, understand that, pat yourself on the back and get ready to make a new accomplishment. And that's where you begin to develop that true pride, because you know, hey, I've overcome obstacles.
Right.
I've overcome things, and I know that we attribute it to God. You know, your source of pride really should come from God. Got me.
Your
No
spiritual.
matter your spirit. You know,
your
it's like
spirit, yeah.
no matter what,
I got myself.
I'm
and
doing-
I got
it's gonna
back.
happen.
I got myself and I got back up.
I got back up, and Lord knows how somebody act when they got backup according to when they don't have backup. Like
Man, what?
it's like
If y'all-
you got backup, you're a whole different person.
Man, it's
yeah,
confidence.
You by
I got
yourself.
the wind,
You.
I got the wind behind my back and the ground underneath my feet, partner.
Yeah, right. You
Yeah.
like that's strong pride. But when you just standing on I, me, you don't give any type of
shallow.
credit to universe, source, God. You know,
And you know what statement I hate
That's
the
that
worst?
false pride.
You know what the statement I hate the worst? I did it all by myself. Ain't shit in this world you done did by yourself. Man, somebody taught you something.
Somebody helped.
Someone threw you out of you. You know what I'm saying? You got your spiritual behind you, man. The people that brung you up
You got a whole
around you,
support system.
all them. You have to give them credit because you won't be nothing without them. You just ain't come. They can't. You wasn't birthed on this earth, and they just put you in this land, and you just flourished. You would die. You would crumble.
and
Without
that's why I
anybody
have a
teaching
problem
you
with people who don't like to or feel like honoring your ancestors is strange
You know
or
what?
weird
Listen, let me
or
tell you
worship or something like that.
Y'all know that I just embarked on this new situation where I'm teaching media arts to the Job Corps students at the Detroit Historic Museum, right? So the first session
Oh,
that I did,
nigga, I teach too, nigga. I'm about to one up that shit. I did that thought in there.
stupid as
But go
hell.
ahead, bro. Go
So
ahead.
no, you know, I wrote a blog about it. The first session that I did, I wrote a blog about it, and in the blog, not only did I acknowledge my band director, Jeffrey Smith from Osborne High School, who introduced me to Akeem Scruggs, who was the A&R from So Def, was the first person that taught me everything. You know what I'm saying? I just talk about how it's full circle for me to be teaching now.
Yeah, yeah.
And not only did I acknowledge that, but the first thing I did after I published it was I went and posted it on my band director's Facebook wall.
Yeah. All homage to you.
All homage.
Man, hey.
We come.
Hey,
yes.
was that a humbling
That's
experience?
part of your pride.
Or was that a boastful experience?
Man, it was humbling. Not only that, because
It really wasn't humbling. It was boasting. Like, I'm boasting.
You know what?
And
It
I'm
was-
boasting
it
him
was-
up,
you know
too.
what, It was, yeah. And then know what was humbling about it for me, because it was in the same room, right? That I like. As soon as I graduated from Specs Howard, the first camera job that I consider myself having was at my cousin's wedding. She got married at the Detroit Historic Museum in the same room that I'm teaching in now.
Oh, wow. That's what's up. Everything full circle. Mm-hmm.
And that's the beauty of it. And that's why you have to give homage to the people who came before you. You
Yeah.
have to give homage
Yeah.
to those who
Well,
who
you
put
know
prayer,
why I
who
do
prayed
it?
for you.
You know why I do it? It's for other people. If you see my example, imitate that. You know what I'm saying? Use the people that's around you to get where you at. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get here by myself. I got here from the people around me.
And the
so
people
I'm going
before
to
you.
explain to you about the people before me. That is the most important thing. Is the people that before me.
Right? They
and then
passed the
people around
baton
me.
because
Right,
they got
they
this
didn't
far.
have to.
They got this far, and then they passed the baton to
Right.
me. I gotta acknowledge the fact that they already ran a leg,
Yeah.
or two, or three. You know, I might be fourth leg.
They went through more sacrifices than I have in order for me to go through less sacrifices
Yes.
to get exactly what they have or more.
So it's not ancestor worship. You know, it's acknowledging those who came before you, who paved the way for you to do the things that you are able to do, and they taught you whatever they did for you.
You know what hurt us as black folks in the society? Real shit is that Democratic ideology that we fuck with the Democrats.
What's
right?
wrong with the Democrats?
Because all they want to do with black folks is give handouts and false promises.
They don't even want to
If
give
you-
us no
if you-
handouts no more.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's the
I've
that's
been
the
begging
overlay.
for-
That's
look,
the
I've been
overlay for the
begging for
underplay.
British cars
Any
for a minute.
Democrat.
I wish you would have been here when my good friend Alexandria Taylor came by. She's actually running for U.S. Senate under the Republican Party.
Man, listen.
We gotta talk about this Black
right,
Republican
man,
thing.
I'm telling you. Hey, look, Jay and Nas got that song Black Republicans, right? One, all your black leaders prior to that were Republicans, right? It was the Republicans that wrote, even though Johnson
slavery.
passed the civil rights, it was the Republicans that wrote the civil rights bill.
And
Do your homework. It was
it was, and they
Republicans.
point and they reasoning
know what I'm saying?
for that was the fact that the we get into labor, and the whole labor movement. We about to have
Well,
a big
the
strike.
Republicans are very strong on constitutional rights.
Yeah.
They live by that. We live in a republic country, right? So they ride on republic values and philosophy. So look up the definition of republic. We are a country built on republic, right?
We are a republic.
A democratic platform, right? But these Democratic definition is by the majority, right? Mm-hmm. So the whites are the majority. So the Democrats prey on the blacks for handouts because we're not the majority. We're the minority, right? So we'll sit there and bipartisan if we give the blacks, because the blacks is the labor. Blacks are the biggest consumers. So we put into play with the Republicans because they're the owners of the corporations that make so much money off of us. So when if
I don't know, because they are the ones who make the most obvious money on us, right? A lot of them, because these, and I don't want to make it about Democrats, but a lot of the policies of Democrats cause us to drives our income dollars to what they want our income dollars to go to, but we not aware.
Right,
that they own, Republicans out front with their businesses, but we not aware that we are funding this business and this business and this organization and this cause and this cause.
Democrats,
they hide their
all
hand.
those Democrats and Republicans are in bed together, right? So it's just fighting over the dollar, right? If I tell everybody, because we about to sign out, we got short time right now, but everybody go and watch that movie Trick Baby. They came out in 1972, and at the dinner table they discuss liberal views, Democratic views, and Republican views, and how they take advantage of blacks. If y'all sit there and watch that, it's not gonna awake you. It's gonna actually create you to be awakening. That you actually gonna put action to your actions, your everyday actions. That I'm aware now. I'm over there trying to roll games. So when we in Detroit, so we work at these plants, right? You got these unions.
We about to have a strike. Let me just. Right. It's exactly. Labor Day. Labor Day is Labor Day weekend.
You tell all your black folks in the union to go watch Trick Baby. And then you go to the negotiation board with the unions.
I think we got to have a conversation about scabs, too. Coming up.
No, you need scabs. You need scabs.
Wait, no, we gonna get us some labor people here, and we gonna talk about that. Yeah. But we do appreciate you all joining us as we discuss humility and pride and healthy pride and humbleness. And if you're interested in donating to our show and our platform, of course, reach out to 7 Mile Radio. You can be further instructed. Our Cash App is through 7 Mile Radio. You can find us there. Just tapped in the notes. And we just thank you for joining us. And good night and good day.
Peace.
All right. Bye, y'all. Bye, Osa.
Warning. You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile.